One of the most challenging but exciting things a Christian can do is identify where God wants them to grow and change. I realized years ago, actually back in the 80s, that it was almost impossible for me to effectively train the hundreds of salespeople I had in offices around the area, and the managers and leaders were facing the exact same problem. The reason is when you talk to a group, it's almost impossible to hit on the exact level everyone is currently at. You're either talking over their heads with information they can't relate to at this time, or you're boring them with information they have heard numerous times before. Now, to address this issue, I implemented a mentoring program where a salesperson would meet with someone they felt they could learn something from, and they'd meet once a week for coffee. Unfortunately, out of the hundreds of sales reps we had, most of them flocked to the exact same top producing reps. So that was overwhelming to those guys. And after trying different variations of this, I finally realized there was an easier and actually more effective way to accomplish this. A way that we could do this in less than 5 minutes, and the results were incredible. Now, this was the beginning of what I now call bridging the gaps. Shortly after that, as the head of the men's ministry at the church I attended, I realized the same situation applies to men and women as Christians. I implemented the Bridging the Gaps program at the church and the men's ministry, and again, the results were incredible. The program has since been used by thousands of Christians around the country, and here's how it works. I'd like you to start by thinking of someone that you really truly respect and admire as a Christian. Now think about this for a few minutes. Don't just jump to the first person that comes to your mind. Think about who do you really seriously respect and admire as a Christian. Now consider what about them. What characteristic or traits do they have that makes you respect or admire them? Now in 90% and more of the cases, what you just identified is what you subconsciously realize are areas you need to grow in. Now why do I say that? Because 90% of the time, people will not admire or respect a characteristic or a trait in someone that is less than what they have themselves. That's just a fact. Now, the question is, what are you going to do about this? You have a choice. You could stop now and think this is a cute parlor game that you could share with your friends, or you could realize God has just unveiled some important areas that He wants you to focus on and change. Now, I'm going to cover how you can implement these changes for those areas that you just identified in video 2.